I want to drop down to the last one real quick that I got written here. It's something you've completely finished, the 2 seasons that are there, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. I don't think we've reviewed The Tick from Amazon Prime Originals. Um, I'd seen that it came out, and I was a huge fan of the previous take on it in the 90s by
Cartoon?
huh?
The cartoon?
Nope, never seen the cartoon, never read the comic books. I remember some of the cartoons. I only caught a little bit of it when I was younger, but I'm referring to the 7-8 episode run with Warburton. Is it Michael?
Oh, is it
Guy.
Mike Timothy?
No, man. Now I gotta look it up. I should have written it down as a reference.
Actor that played as
Patrick
Yeah.
Warburton.
Patrick.
Patrick Warburton donned the original Tick costume in the live-action series that only ran 9 episodes. One episode, I believe, didn't air, and I remember it saying that on the DVD case that I bought back in the day. Yes, this was back when DVDs were a thing. And I thought he did an incredible job, just his demeanor, the way he talks. And so when I heard Amazon Prime doing a new take on it, I wasn't super excited to check it out. And Peter Serafinowicz, who they cast to play the Tick, I didn't know any of his work prior to this. I looked into it. He's done a lot of things. But I never really heard him acting, and I saw the trailer, and it just didn't strike me. I'm like, hashtag this ain't my Tick. But but then one of my buddies had actually watched it and was raving about it, and I told him about the original one. He had no idea there was a previous one that had been done, and I said, yeah, it's really over the top and silly, and I loved it. And he explained a few things, and I was like, all right. And recently checking out other shows on Amazon Prime, I'm like, oh, it's a 24, 29 minute series. I'll go ahead and drop a few episodes and see how it goes. Episode 1 I knocked out in one sitting, and I'm like, I actually really like him. I really like his portrayal. I'm actually almost, I dare say, a bigger fan than Patrick Warburton's version, but I have original nostalgic reasons that I love his original take. I'll just run quickly over the cast here. In addition to Peter as the Tick, we got Griffin Newman as Arthur, Valerie Curry as his sister Dot, Yara Martinez plays Ms. Lint, one of the villains. Scott Spacer plays Overkill, and his cohort, Danger Boat, is voiced by none other than Alan Tudyk, filled with all the sarcasm and love that you would expect from his AI robotic impersonations that he's done over the years.
Our very own Mr. Nobody.
Yes. Briefly, just the description for this series, anyone that's not familiar with the Tick, it's in a world where superheroes have been real for decades. An accountant with no superpowers comes to realize his city is owned by a supervillain. As he struggles to uncover this conspiracy, he falls in league with a strange blue superhero. And they've got kind of like a Superman figure that's kind of been around, Superior, I think, what's it called? And the main supervillain from Arthur's past was the Terror, which they brought back as a classic villain from previous Tick iterations. I have finished all 12 episodes of season 1. Absolutely freaking loved it. I give that a solid 5 out of 5. And just throw this out there, I already am a couple episodes into season 2, still enjoying it thoroughly. They've gotten a little more serious. There's some heartwarming elements to it, aside from the comedy and some of like the absurdity of some of the characters. And I am just absolutely beside myself that Amazon has canceled the show. And currently, as of right now, it has not found a home anywhere else, and that deeply saddens me. Nicholas, your thoughts on the series, being that you wrapped up both seasons? And do you share my sentiments? I don't know how season 2 ended, so don't spoil that, obviously, but
drawing a comparison to typical superhero movies and shows. In season 2, it directly correlates with certain things. I'm not going to say what, but once you get to it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's how the Tick has always been, no matter in this iteration or not. I would have to disagree. I liked Warburton's Tick better. The new Tick is not bad. It's just I like Warburton's style more for the Tick. He seems more ostentatious.
Sure, okay, but I would just, to add briefly, I would say that Serafinowicz's version does a lot of he does a lot of redoing it, kind of like he kind of re-emulates Patrick Warburton's version to some degree, and yeah, I do understand there's a little more pull back from that more outrageous, boisterous version, but he's got the voice for it. I gotta throw that out there. When he gets into his narrations about truth and justice, and and he still paints the same. Like, the one thing the Tick does is he narrates out loud to himself often throughout the show, and the previous versions did that too. And they do a really good job of him painting constant analogies using his very creative and humorous wording. Sorry, Nick, continue with how you felt about
it's fine.
Where it ended, I guess, or
season 2 wasn't bad. I watched it because I like the superhero genre.
But not because you were hooked in Tick. It's fine if that's how you felt.
It gave me a chuckle. I wouldn't say I wasn't hooked. I wouldn't say I was. It was one of those ones that I could lay there and leisurely watch while my kids are being a nuisance.
Easily list to the left.
No, it's sometimes I watch shows just to pass time, and this was one that was good for that.
Bummer. So what's the rating? It's definitely not a 5. It can't be.
And you were right. It is unfortunate that they didn't get picked up by anyone else. I would have surely thought someone would have because of the superhero hype going on, but no network, no other entity picked this up, and so it's definitely dead in the water, like the first series did, which
didn't even make it one season.
Yeah.
Give it time. Wait for Freakazoid's return.
But no, I would definitely.
That would be amazing. Sorry.
I'm leaning towards the lower side, but the most I can give it is a 3.
That's fine. It's to clarify our numbers a little bit, because we still need to finalize that. But you're saying worth checking out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look. Because of my tendencies and what I like in shows is probably one of the reasons why it didn't stick as heavy in my heart as it did yours. But I would definitely say it's worth a watch, and someone might get more out of it than I did, like you did.
Fair enough. I fell in love with it for slightly different reasons. Like, Patrick Warburton is like the number one thing that sold me on that original run. This one, a little bit, it's still cheesy, but a little bit of the drama and kind of the heartwarming moments, aside from the comical beats, drew me in more with this one. And I guess that's probably the difference between the two series for me. But I will give this one a solid 4. As much as I'm gushing about it, I'd give it a 4, because it didn't outdo the old love per se, but there were a lot of elements I loved about it.
Well, I can honestly say the reason why I liked Warburton more is I grew up watching the Tick cartoons. and
So
he
he
embodied
painted
the cartoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I understand.
That and it's Patrick Warburton.
I love him. Mm-hmm.
His
all right.
aneurysms as an actor, like
Aneurysms.
Mannerisms.
No. How come it sounds different when you say it?
oh my god.
Oh, this is gonna
You
be a
meant
hard.
aneurysms.
My
Lindsay-
brain was not working right there. Oh my god.
Lynn, this is gonna be a hard lick. This will either be an end credit scene or this might be the cold open because that was beautiful. I might have to take both. Lynn's
I can't
little
even.
take earlier, and then yours
I'm
now.
just gonna keep my mouth shut. from
Please
now on.
continue, Matt.
No,
we did not
nope,
mean
go back.
to shame you.
He likes his mannerisms. Continue. It's okay.
Yeah, just his voice and his sarcastic nature. Like I watched the Tick series back when he was the Tick, and I watched the cartoon, and his persona, I think, is the Tick. Like, he was super sarcastic, and if you even go back into the comics that were written, the Tick is just super naturally sarcastic all the time.
Yeah.
And just hearing I can hear his voice right now saying something stupid that the Tick would say.
The blue yonder.
Yes. I don't know. I didn't even know the Tick was a thing on Amazon, so like that's my bad. Like,
Well,
I haven't checked out like a lot of stuff on Hulu too, so.
Well, take Nick's 3 and check it out, and take my 4 and open your heart to the possibility of a new love. 24 episodes on Amazon Prime.
I would give it a 4 based on I'm a sucker for nostalgic things.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I'd probably give it a strong 3, 4. I haven't even seen it.
Well, all right. Future proofing your reviews.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I'll make
You
myself
just send a
watch it
YouTube
now.
link.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.